When it comes to defending the net, Nashville Predators goalie Dan Ellis is one of the best.
And Ellis is able to stop him.
Like most boys in Canada, Dan grew up on the ice and had dreams of making it to the National Hockey League.
I started to skate probably at the age of 3. My dad was the head of the Minor Hockey Association. He was up near the top, and so he was also in charge of rental goalie equipment and stuff like that. So I always had the pick of the litter for goaltending equipment, and we won the championship 3 or 4 years in a row, and so we had a great squad.
The success he had in the hockey rink was a welcome distraction to the turmoil he faced at home.
There was a lot of fighting with my parents, but in the midst of it, you do go through a great amount of hurt, and just you're not sure why it's happening. You're not sure if it's you. You're not sure what it is. There was a lot of hurt, back and forth, and my brother and I were in the middle of it.
His parents divorced when he was 11, and as he entered his teens, Dan began making poor choices.
When I was in high school, I kind of hung out with the wrong crowd, and I got into drugs every other weekend pretty much. I was getting high and drinking at a young age. When all your friends are doing it, you figure, why not give it a try? Shortly after that, though, as I did the drugs, things continued to slide. As my life was just kind of spiraling, hockey wasn't going well, my grades weren't going well. Obviously the drugs and alcohol were having an effect on me in a number of areas of my life.
As Dan's life was falling apart, things at home were changing for the better. Dan's father had become a Christian, and he saw that his son was headed for trouble, so he sent Dan to a Christian hockey camp, led by pro hockey player Mel Stevens. A seed was planted there that would change his life.
You would get up, you would go to breakfast or whatever, then you would go to the rink, and then you would have a short little Bible study with your camp leader. So when he gave me a Bible, it had a lot of the little questions that you have in the Bible about, who is God, what happened.
At first, Dan was skeptical, but he respected Mel and the other Christian hockey players. So he made up his mind to learn more about God.
I would try to find scripture verses that would help me in hockey, and that's what created my awareness of it and just made me gravitate towards the Bible and towards Christ. But as those things started to become answered, well, then you start to get deeper with a lot of your personal issues and with your parents and, just your daily life.
The more he studied his Bible, the more he realized following Christ was the only way.
The other way of living wasn't helping me in any way. It was maybe making me accepted with my friends, but that, being accepted with your friends doesn't really make your life work out. So as I just continued to listen and apply those things to my life, I noticed big changes.
Dan gradually gave up drugs. He committed his life to Jesus and was baptized.
That was, I think, a moment where I really felt, this is it. This is the way my life is going to be from now on.
Although his life was back on track, Dan's dreams of playing pro hockey seemed to be all but over.
There was a period in my life that there was no college scholarships, there was no major junior hockey that was accepting you. It was basically my last kick of the can. I went to Omaha, Nebraska to play for the junior hockey team, the Lancers, and I looked at it as an opportunity just to go see the U.S. for free before I went and got a job. My dream of hockey had pretty much felt like it was over with.
To his surprise, that wasn't the case.
The season started out great. I got a scholarship within the first month of going to Omaha. When that season worked out, I started to talk to some National Hockey League teams throughout the year, and I thought, well, geez, I might get drafted here.
And that's just what happened. Dan was picked in the 2000 NHL draft by the Dallas Stars. After 3 years in the minors, he made his NHL debut in 2004 and signed with Nashville in 2007. That season, Dan had the highest save percentage in the league.
Ellis makes the stop. The Predators win.
Along the road, Dan has faced his share of trials. But today, he's focused on God, his source of strength.
He's the anchor. He's the one that you can hang on to with everything. He's the only constant. With everything in life that changes and all the ups and downs, it's nice to be able to hang on to one rock that's not going to move. For him to accept me as who I was and to help me grow into someone who hopefully I can be, whoever he wants me to be. It's just neat to have someone that cares about you that much and that will help you in every situation.